So what is an entrepreneur? It's a question that gets asked in university studies. People go to university and study entrepreneurialism. And I'm going to sound so controversial here, but I just, like, what, really? Some people turn around and say, like, Richard, you're an entrepreneur, and I cringe at that. I don't like to, and well, in fact, I don't call myself an entrepreneur, but I do have a belief of definition of what is an entrepreneur. And when asked, I will turn around and compare people like Duncan Bannatyne and Peter Jones. I've read both their books, and based on what I've read from their books, I would categorise Duncan Bannatyne as an entrepreneur, and I would categorise Peter Jones as a good businessman. And then I was listening to Steve Bartlett's podcast, Diary of a CEO. It was recommended to me by my colleague Jacob, and I thought, you know what, I'd have a listen through some of these, and I've been listening to it regularly now, catching up. There's still a few more to go. And we got to the one where he was interviewing John Vincent. And for those of you who don't know, John Vincent is the guy that started Leon, the healthy food chain. And Steve asked John what it's like to be an entrepreneur. And John's response was, well, I don't know if I am an entrepreneur. His definition was that an entrepreneur isn't a person, but it's a community of people, a collection of people who come together to create something that is more than themselves. And that, that was one of the moments where I was driving and I sort of turned the radio up and I was thinking, hey, this is resonating. And it's the first time I've actually heard a definition of an entrepreneur that I can get behind. Because where he was coming from, one person cannot achieve everything on their own. And that's how I feel. I couldn't run this business. I couldn't have done much of what I've done in my 25 years so of being self-employed without having great people around me. And John Vincent, that's exactly what he spoke about. Is for him, Leon was more than just, he had just started it, building it up in his father's name, for those who aren't aware. But it was about everybody that was around him that come together and all shared a common goal, common aspirations. So for this one, when you going forward, whenever I'm asked again, or what is an entrepreneur, what makes an entrepreneur, it's the people around them, and it's the people themselves. There isn't an entrepreneur, there's entrepreneurialism, and that is something absolutely I can get behind.